can you confirm for us whether you've been receiving a salary from the White House since being let go at the NSA?
I was not fired. The president never said that, nor did the vice president.
You're
Senate's
saying that
consent
you were not
to be
dismissed from your
UN.
role, as was publicly reported, because it's also been publicly reported that you've been receiving almost $200,000 of the taxpayer money.
The reporting, Senator, is fake news, which shouldn't surprise anyone. The president was clear. His announcement was, I will nominate
fake news
Mr.
can't be
Waltz,
the
and then
answer
the vice
to
president
everything.
was quite clear
So we're going to
that
move my deep concerns with the mass reductions in force that took place in the State Department on Friday. I find it particularly troubling that many of those who were let go worked on issues related to women, to human rights, and counterterrorism. And I do look forward to discussing this more in depth on this committee going forward. So, Congressman, I'm going to start with you because this morning it was reported, despite being removed from your role as National Security Advisor in May, removed from your role, right, not working, surprisingly, you've been on the White House payroll for the last few months. So throughout this hearing, you've made assertions that if confirmed, you would root out waste and unnecessary overhead at the UN. So can you confirm for us whether you've been receiving a salary from the White House since being let go at the NSA?
Thank you, Senator. I was not fired. The president never said that, nor did the vice president. I was kept on as an advisor, transitioning a number of important activities, and now hope to be confirmed with the Senate's consent
that you were not
to
dismissed
be
from your
UN.
role, as was publicly reported, because it's also been publicly reported that you've been receiving almost $200,000 of the taxpayer money since you were dismissed from being the National Security Advisor.
Well, the reporting, Senator, is fake news, which shouldn't surprise anyone. The president was clear. His announcement was, I will nominate
fake news
Mr.
can't
Waltz,
be the
and then
answer
the
to
vice president
everything.
was quite clear.
So we're going to move on to UNESCO because we got a lot to talk about there. Undoubtedly, UNESCO has its flaws, including the history of anti-Israel bias. But the U.S. has also played a key role in defending Israel at the UN agency. So the U.S. has called for votes against unbalanced resolutions and supported efforts that promote international Holocaust education, press freedom, literacy programs, scientific innovation, and protect and restore cultural heritage sites. Since rejoining UNESCO in 2023, the U.S. has also successfully included references to Hamas's October 7th terrorist attack and the plight of the hostages in UNESCO documents. However, during periods of U.S. withdrawal from UNESCO, China has stepped up its own engagement, becoming UNESCO's largest financial contributor and using this platform to push its own priorities. We know they are contrary to ours. So, Congressman, how might maintaining our presence at UNESCO support its work on U.S. priorities like Holocaust education, press freedom, all of the other things that I just mentioned, while ensuring that the PRC does not continue to expand its influence within the body? And how can our membership in UNESCO continue to provide us that platform for countering any future anti-Israel actions and, I would say, terrorism overall?
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, Senator. And I certainly support, as I mentioned to the ranking member, any initiative to block and tackle Chinese Communist Party influence throughout any of these organizations. However, I do think we have to review closely our membership in these organizations, if we're getting return for the taxpayer dollars, if they're in line with our interests.
Would you recommend?
As you know, in the first term, we withdrew from UNESCO. Under President Reagan, we renewed from UNESCO, and often it's been incredibly unhelpful to both Israel and the United States on the world stage.
Recommend to Secretary Rubio we withdraw from UNESCO?
If confirmed, I'll engage with Secretary Rubio and participate in that review, but as you know, it's currently under review.
Thank you. let's see, because yes. So I'm sorry, withdrawing from UNESCO, I want to go back to that because Order 14199 mandates a review of the United States participation in UNESCO and explicitly requires a U.S. ambassador to the UN consult with the Secretary of State. So we'll look forward to that report from you on that. I do have some questions about women in Ukraine, but I know that, Senator Barrasso's here, so that's fine. You were kind enough to leave it open.
Appreciate that. We've had a good hearing. Thank you to our witnesses for being here.